Listen, Giulio, the boss just called me. We need to introduce the Newton for the web for our customers. Any idea?
Well, there are many things to talk about.
Well, for sure, what do you do?
Absolutely. We should talk about also the applications.
Let's put the core technology on.
Yeah,
In our channels for sure.
we have a lot of them.
Hardware version, that'd be interesting to know.
Absolutely. And we cannot miss to talk about the DSP, the processing. And we should mention a little bit about the software.
This looks like a plan. Let's go.
Yeah, let's start.
Start. Hello everybody, my name is Vinny and I'm very happy to be with you today. I'm one of the technical support for Outline, dealing with the touring world and the new technology like the one I'm very proud to introduce to you today, the Newton. Chaps, this is my colleague Giulio.
Hi, Vinny.
Hi Giulio, how you doing, buddy?
Very good. I'm Giulio Gandini. I'm in charge of technical support and I'm part of the Outlines R&D team.
So let's say we're in good hands today. All right, so Giulio, please tell me what the Newton can do for our customers. We are all very curious.
Newton offers a lot of different features. It's a sync and clock management device with networking capability. It has a very high potential of input and output, so we have up to 216 channels in both directions. It allows speaker system control and audio distribution.
Wow, so which type of application exactly the Newton can be dedicated?
Newton can be dedicated to a lot of different applications. We can go from touring, festivals, TV shows, large fixing stores, recording tracks, and so on. The Newton can be the core of any system we just mentioned.
Whoa. What do you mean with core technology, sorry?
I mean that Newton can accept a lot of different audio protocols that can be on different clocks. Newton has all the power to process 16 inputs and 16 outputs and redistribute these signals on multiple audio standards.
Okay, it's a lot of stuff here. So what is on board, sorry?
On board we need something very powerful. So we have a large FPGA processing working at 96K, we have complete backup strategies, and we have synchronous and asynchronous sample rate converters.
So if I don't make a mistake, you have so many in-out. I heard about, you say 216 channels, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Wow.
We are able to accept different digital audio protocols. We are able to accept up to 64 channels on both directions, so input and output on Dante, 64 on MADI optical, 64 on MADI coaxial, 16 AS3 channels, plus up to 8 analog input and output channels, depending on the hardware configuration.
And what does that mean? So how many hardware versions do you design?
We offer 3 different hardware versions. Newton 16 that has all the digital input and output, Newton 16 plus 4 that has all the features of Newton 16 plus 4 additional analog in and analog out, and Newton 16 plus 8 that offers 8 additional analog in and analog out.
So questions for you. May I update the Newton 16?
Yes. We can update. Basically, you can buy the expansion cards in order to have more analog in and analog out.
So we became a Newton 16 plus 4 or Newton 16 plus 8?
That's correct.
Okay, get you. All right. Right, let's go to the processing details. Can you explain, also if I know it's pretty complicated, quickly to our user what's going on there?
Yes. Here we can see our internal data path. If we start from the left, we can see that here we have all our hardware inputs.
Like I can see, I can deal with different signal and protocol coming from many sources?
Yes, absolutely. That's correct. Newton is able to accept all these different digital audio data, and Newton can be synced with any digital input plus word clock in and video sync in. Then the digital signals can be directly processed if they are in sync with Newton. Otherwise, we can still receive them using the asynchronous sample rate converters.
So I suppose with all this processing, we've got an input priority.
For sure, we need it. For example, you can decide to connect a console using any protocol as the first priority, and another protocol could be a Stray, MADI, for example, or whatever, as a second priority, and another one could be analog as a third priority, and so on.
So in another word, that's mean I'm the sound engineer, so I can drive my left and right, my main signal using Dante, for example, and if it's failed, my secondary will take over, and so on and so on.
Exactly, that's correct. That's correct.
Great, that's cool.
But don't forget, Vinny, that we also have two fully redundant power supplies. So we have two independent power supplies that are always connected to the mainboard. So if one of these two power supplies or the line that are connected to fails, automatically the machine keeps on working.
Curiosity, so let's go back to our processing. So we have, you say, 16 channel of input, a matrix, a 16 channel of output. Is that a reason for his name?
Absolutely.
Newton 16?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yes. That's correct.
Makes sense.
We have 16 input and output processing channels where we have all that is required to tune a loudspeaker system. In its DSP, we have control of levels, delays, polarities, filter, and the cues that are using the W-FEAR technology. Plus, for the ones that have Newton 16 plus 4 and 16 plus 8, we have 4 or 8 additional auxiliary DSP channels for the analog inputs and an auxiliary matrix.
So the Newton can be used also for who's not tuning an outline PA, is an open door.
That's correct. Newton is an outline product, 100% made in Italy, but it can be used by any audio service and PA factory, including outline.
Copy that. So we got the input, hardware, protocols. What we miss, the output.
Yes, the processed channels as well as the direct output can be routed to any hardware output. So for example, we can go to an amplifier straight using Dante with a backup in AES3.
So let's say we're ready to rock, Julia. All right, nice overview, thank you so much. I think we just missed the control of all those functions.
Yes.
We need a powerful software, I presume?
Exactly, right. Our IT team developed Outline Dashboard. Future videos will be online to train yourself on this wonderful tool.
Very well, very good. Thank you very much for your time, gents. It was great to talk with you, Giulio, like usual.
Grazie mille. E grazie mille a voi.
Finito, ragazzi?
Che sembra, scusa,
Finire un attimino, però.
ma,
Beh, allora va,
andiamo,
via, va, via.
ma.